My name is Kay Yip, and we hosted the Alpha Workplace at Wisma Maran. I work in a family business involved with timber, in property and construction. Business was started by my dad 60 years ago, so I'm a second generation steward of this company. Ever since I rededicated my life back to the Lord a few years ago, I felt that my love for God started to overflow. And that's when I really thought that, what does God want me to do? And He said, well, it's time to start sharing the gospel to those around me. And that's when I felt, the urge to do it. I didn't know quite how to do it, but the church had some programs like evangelism events. I attended them, invited my staff and colleagues to join with me, and some of them actually even felt the name of Jesus calling them. And I was quite inspired. But I thought that a one-off event like this has to continue. Fortunately, the church then had a workplace conference. I found out that it's such a good program that they have, where they could come to your office and talk about Alpha to my staff. And I thought, what a good deal, Then I decided to have it in my office. So we gathered about 15 to 20 people. So there were enough people to make it an interesting and diverse group. So that started the Alpha. And on the first day of Alpha, I told my staff, you've seen some changes in my life. Perhaps you want to know what is the root of all these changes and what my values are. Whom, just like you treat me as an employer, I'd like you to know who my Lord is. And that is when I started to get them interested. What is amazing, I find, is that the praise and worship, which we did not do during the 6 classes, we only introduced praise and worship during the weekend away. But I believe that the worship is a breakthrough, because that's when the hearts become softened and they feel more vulnerable and more open to share their life. And I think that's when the Alpha team from our church, were able to pray one-on-one with them. And that's when we had about 10 salvations. The most important thing I felt was the shift in the spiritual atmosphere over the whole company. People were more open, more authentic, and more empathetic to one another. And there was just a more open attitude towards solving personal issues. So that was one of the seed breakthroughs that we find. The meeting room that we had, where we did our Alpha, I had a feeling that why don't we make it a permanent Alpha venue for officers around me to use. And I brought the idea to the church, and the church said, you know what, we were thinking of having a church plant somewhere in the city. And I felt this was a perfect convergence of vision, both in my heart as well as the church. And we then decided to extend that one room into the whole floor to make this marketplace church plant. So one of the people that was saved is in my factory. Because we have foreign workers from Myanmar in our factory, he decided to then, on his own initiative, to bring a Myanmar pastor to actually have praise and worship and just talking about Jesus to my factory workers on a monthly basis. To share the gospel in the marketplace is both very easy and difficult. It's easy in the sense that you see the person on a daily basis, but it's difficult because they know you true and true, right? So they say, so you have to be really authentic. But the important thing I felt is the support from the church, because they actually come together to make the process easy. And there's also this worry of being shy and being not sure what to say, but it just takes that first step. And once you take the first step, the rest will come quite easily.